Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Palm Tree Life. I'm Tim, and we are launching a new series called Distant Worlds 2. And we're going to get into some sci-fi, we're going to get into some space. Looking forward to it. I haven't played this game a lot, and I never played the first one, or there's another version, it's like Universe or something like that. I've never played those. But I've really enjoyed what I've played so far with this game. It is 4X, it is grand strategy, and honestly, it gives me a little bit of the Babylon 5 vibes. I grew up, I know there's, Trekkies with Star Trek and Star Wars, but for me, there's Stargate, there's a lot of science fiction out there. For me, it was Babylon 5. I loved it. I think I'm going to have to buy those series again because this kind of stirred all of that. In my younger days, it stirred all of that back up. And I'm like, I want to go back and watch that. So let's get into this. In this episode, I'm going to kind of do an overview, so we're not going to get too far into the gameplay. I kind of want to show you, they actually add a lot of really cool details, and I want to show them off. So here, to start a new game, you can do your galaxy shape and size. So you've got the classic one, spiral, elliptical. There's all kinds of different shapes. And we're going to do varied clusters. So cluster galaxies have groups of stars clustered together in constellations. Between clusters, there are very few stars, thus each cluster is like an island in the galaxy. Hey, we're Palm Tree Life, might as well play in some islands, right? Separated from the next cluster by a sea of emptiness. Varied clusters means that cluster sizes are varied. Some are small while others are large. Then you got stars. I went with 2,000. I know that's a lot. I know that's huge. But hey, if we're going to play, let's see what the max looks like. You can always shrink it in future stuff. And then nebula density. So the nebula is the amount of nebula clouds in the galaxy. Lower nebula density makes navigation easier, whereas higher nebula density makes finding paths through nebula more challenging and provides more geography in the galaxy. So we're just going to do normal. And the galaxy size, we're going to do the biggest. We can't do the smallest with 2,000. So you could do 6 by 6. We're just going to do 10 by 10. Let's go big. Go big or go home, right? So you can do galaxy expansion. You can decide like at what starting point. And we're going to do pre-warp. So empires start with a single small colony and minimal tech. Hyperspace travel has not yet been unlocked. So we're going to have to get hyperspace. You know what? It feels like this music's a little too loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. All right. We've got tech level is pre-warp, so we have to how advanced the research is for all empires in the galaxy. This determines which ship hulls and components are available for constructing ships and bases. And pre-warp means 0 tech is researched. So we're going to research all the tech. When expansion is greater than starting, then tech level must be at least 1. Difficulty, we're going to go normal. Once again, I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. I enjoy playing games, not being the best at a game. And I enjoy showing them off to you guys. Research speed, we're just going to do normal. I don't really want to go very fast because we're still learning this game. And in still learning it, you can go faster on research if you know what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go and why you're going there. But research visibility, so only next projects visible. I kind of like this. If it's all projects are visible, you can see the full path. I kind of like the fact that you can't see the full path. You kind of have to guess where you should go within it. And then research pathing, random research paths. So paths between research projects are randomly selected. This means that each game has different ways to unlock new technologies. When combined with blind research, this makes each game a unique research experience. I like the uniqueness of a game. And then allow tech trading. Yeah, we want to be able to trade tech. Pirates, we're going to go few. So I have tried this a few times with normal, and they are just everywhere. They are everywhere. And so I want to limit it because I want to enjoy the gameplay. I don't want to have to, especially early on when we don't have a lot of tech, I don't want to keep getting attacked by pirates. Pirate strength, they can have the normal strength. Proximity, they can be average. And then I don't like respawn. When you're dead, I want you dead. Space creatures, we'll do normal. I haven't come across a lot of those in gameplay yet, so we're just going to keep it as normal. Colonization. So colony prevalence influences the general quality of planets and moons in the galaxy, thus determining the number of potential colonies. We'll keep that normal. And then independent colonies is like how many independent alien populations. So they might be the same race of aliens, but a different colony. Like they're not of us, even though they look like us. Colony influence range, we'll just do 100%, and the range limit is 200 million. I don't know what all that means yet completely, so if turned on, new colonies must be within the specified distance from one of your existing colonies. That makes sense. Alright, so you've got the different races. There are more races than these, 7? There's more than 7, but these are the only 7 you can play with right now. So you've got Akdarian. You can kind of see, if you really want to see one of these, I can do another episode, but we are going to do the Haakonish. So Haakonish are a bipedal reptilian race. They have broad, flat heads with prominent protrusions on each side. The protrusions are nasal cavities that provide the Haakonish with an unrivaled sense of smell. Haakonish have very poor eyesight, but compensate for this with their excellent sense of smell and taste. They are intelligent and quite aggressive. Haakonish are highly pretentious. They also have a strong sense of their own racial superiority. Thus, they do not enjoy the company of other races and have a tendency to be xenophobic. Haakonish are naturally drawn towards intricate technology. They take great pride in designing and building equipment with many advanced features, even if some of these features are unnecessary and superfluous. So, they like their toys, basically. Like, we like things to look really good, even if it doesn't really help anything. The natural miserliness of the Haakonish has led them to develop the high-density fuel cell, a high-capacity fuel tank. This gives Haakonish starships longer range and endurance. Haakonish typically live in fully enclosed biospheres in coastal areas of marshy swamp and mangrove forest planets. All right, so our personality is we are aggressive. We're not super cautious. We're unreliable on our dependability, so that has to do with the xenophobic side of things. Our reproduction rate is moderate. Our migration tendency is neutral, and assimilation rate is resistant. So we aren't naturally going to assimilate other races in with us. Our colonization modifiers, so when we got swamp, ocean, forest, and mangrove forest, those colonization modifiers are benefit to us. Desert ice and rocky desert, we could still colonize there, but it is going to be harder to colonize there. We get bonuses in research, espionage, hyperjump speed, ship energy savings. Diplomacy gets a debuff, and then war weariness reduction is 20%. So we get some bonuses there. Feelings towards other races, we obviously don't care. We don't like them. We don't even like other people that are us, Haakonish, that aren't us. Like, we don't even like them. Our preferred governments are feudalism and Mercantile Guild, they will allow these other governments to happen. And then our default infantry is the Battlemeton Brigade, which is infantry 5,000. Our maintenance is 200, defense is 125, attack 25, armor evasion, planetary defense evasion, and Titan evasion 25%. So now we're going to call our empire name the Haakonish Palm Tree Guild, and we're not going to do feudalism. So if we could do feudalism, we get war weariness reduction, weapons and troop research, troop maintenance. So this is much more the military side of our race, but we're going to go with Mercantile Guild. So the Mercantile Guild is much more about diplomacy, so that the debuff that we have in diplomacy, we're going to take away right here with the Mercantile Guild. And then we get research bonuses, mining bonuses, and maintenance bonuses. We also get trade income and colony income. So we are going to really be focused on colonizing, trade, and research. Colonizing, trade, and research. That's kind of like what we're focused on. We're going to keep our current empire flag. That looks like the Haakonish type of flag, so we're going to leave it. And then our special ability is we can manually control mining ships because we are a mining mercantile guild. Whereas so like feudalism doesn't have a special one. Democracy, military dictatorship, monarchy, and republic. But we're going to do Mercantile Guild. So guild governments are highly focused towards commerce, trade, and industry. The ruling structure is often loose and informal. A collection of leading members of the business community make key decisions that affect all citizens. Mercantile guilds generally allow a high degree of freedom and autonomy to their citizens. Basic rights and liberties are guaranteed by a simple set of laws that can apply to many situations. Entrepreneurial activity is very common, creating a dynamic business environment where high levels of wealth are generated quickly. And that's what we're focused on. We want the money. Money, colonization, trade, and research to just get more money, more colonization, more trade. That's what we're trying to do. Our home system, we're going to have normal, expansion, how many colonies you have, and how well established your empire is. This includes the following factors: number of colonies, population levels of your colonies, how much of the galaxy you have explored, the number of ships and bases your empire has. When expansion is greater than starting, then tech level must be at level 1. So expansion is starting, tech level, pre-war. Starting location, we could go like center in this highlighted area. We could do the edge in that highlighted area, or we could just do random. I'm fine with random. I kind of like it. I like the mix-up where things are different, every once in a while. That's okay with me. Other empires. So you can auto-generate empires. You could turn that off and actually pick the empires you want. You can choose how many. So I don't know how high. Can this go to like 100? Nope, it can only go to 20. We're going to go to 20. You know what? Yeah, it's our first one. We're doing the biggest world. I almost want to put 20, but inevitably that's going to cause problems, and I haven't tested it out. So we're just going to do 12. Victory conditions. So you got territory victory conditions. So we control 75% of the territory. We have 75% of the population. We have 75% of the economy. Rare victory conditions, which is you can enable race-specific victory conditions for all factions in the game. So it'll give our race a very specific victory condition to try to get. And then the threshold, which is, it sets the percentage of victory conditions that must be fulfilled to win the game. So out of these 4, basically if we have 3 of these 4, we win the game. Start date years is off, so we could start at 0. We're not going to worry about it. Whatever they... victory conditions only apply after the specified number of years have passed in the game. So you could put, can you do 10,000? 100. We don't want 100. So it can only happen after 100 years, which it would be hard to do those victory conditions in 100 years, I think. But we're going to turn it off. Time limit years, we're going to turn that off. General story events. We want the story events. Enable general story events, ancient ruins, abandoned ships, bases, debris fields. We want all that. That adds the flavor into the game. And then rare specific story events. So it enables race specific story events in the game. We want that too. And then colony events enables like disasters, plagues. Sure, why not? We'll do all that. So let's see where we're starting. What planet or moon we're going to start on. Our faction is known as the Haakonish Palm Tree Guild. Our government is Mercantile Guild. We are the Haakonish, who are typically aggressive and unreliable. Haakonish have natural skills in engine research, counter-espionage, hyperdrive research, hyperjump speed, ship energy savings, and war weariness reduction. Our leader is Uki Matato, skilled in engine research. So each leader has specific skills as well. Our home colony is, oh my word, Yasibfi, we'll do that, Yasibfi 4, a marshy swamp planet in the Yasibfi system. Nearby is the rocky metallic moon Klewigo. Klewigo. Our faction has primitive technology. We are just beginning to take our first steps into space. Let's get started. I love how this zooms in like this. And there is Yasibfi 4. In the ancient Haakonish city ruins, we have made a curious discovery. At long last, we have developed the technology to explore beyond our planet thanks to the excavation of the ancient Haakonish ruins on our homeland. The ingenuity of our forebears now belong to us. These ruins contain records of a great betrayal and indicate that this planet was attacked from space long ago. This corroborates the oldest legends, who are people which speak of terrible creatures who came from the sky to steal our wealth, enslave our soldiers, and even devour our children. We now know there is at least a seed of truth at the heart of these legends, and so we venture into the unknown. We must remain vigilant, wise, and suspicious. As the proverb tells us, trust is for the foolish, and wealth is for the taking. That's pretty much our motto right there. Trust is for the foolish, and wealth is for the taking. We cannot know what we will find as we travel beyond this world, but we can dream of new worlds to plunder, vast riches to gather, and lesser beings to exploit. What we have discovered about our ancestors and what we have accomplished ourselves erases all doubts about the superiority of the Haakonish. Even so, we must beware of ancient enemies. If we are true to our nature and seek to gain much while risking little, then greatness surely awaits us. We will reinvest in what makes us Haakonish and earn back the glories of our past. We have found technology that has advanced our understanding of early warp field experiments. We have found technology that has advanced our understanding of research labs. These ruins provide the following colony bonuses. We found some ruins, so that's part of our story. We found some ruins that are giving us 4% colony development, so specific to this colony. 3% colony income, so we're getting 3% colony income as a result, and then 5% troop research, so we get a bonus to our research, and then 10% scenery, which just makes our city better. So we'll look at that in just a second. So dismiss that. Let's pause this. So we have a new leader. Show me. So he's got 2% engine research. Uki Matato. So you can see we can transfer him to a new location. We could put him in a different place if we had more colonies. But let's go through some of these options here. So I'm going to do a quick overview, and then we're going to come back to the policy settings. But you have your overall government tree. So what do they call this here? It doesn't say. Anyway, so this gives you your state economy, so your cash, annual income, expenses, bonus, all that stuff. You can see it all. It gives you kind of where you're going to land coming up here. Funding levels, so you can change, like, do you want your income to be reserved? Do you want ship maintenance? Research, do you want, excess funding to go into research? You can do you can choose where your money goes with this. Maintenance, so it'll tell you, like, you've got different private ships, state ships, military ships, and what's the maintenance? How many do you have? What's the maintenance on them? Government, this just tells you all the bonuses that you have from your different government stuff, the bonuses and debuffs. Your leader, and then policy settings, which we'll come back to. You have diplomacy, so as you meet people or as you meet races and different leaders and pirates and things like that, it'll put all of those in this diplomatic relations and then pirate relations. And then if you come across independent colonies, so they're not necessarily another empire, like it'll divide it out between pirates, independent colonies, then if you have ambassadors, where you have sent them, and if you have spies and where you have sent them, and then if you have prisoners. I haven't had any prisoners yet in playing this game, so maybe we'll see that happen through this playthrough. All of the characters that it provides, so as you have diplomats and spies and military leaders and all of those things, they'll end up in here. So spies, prisoners, and then all the characters. These will list all your colonies. So if you have new colonies, colonial ships, planetary facilities, which ours is this ancient city ruin that we found that gave us those bonuses. And then artifacts. You can come across artifacts as well as you search other planets. Exploration. This will list all your exploration ships, all of your known ruins. So here there's unknown ruins at UCV6. So there's UCV6. And we'll look at the map here in just a second. Abandoned ships and bases, and then special locations. And then resources. Every resource gives you bonuses and money. All right. So like this, it's not going to show me there, of course. Mining locations, new mining location, mining ships, and fuel tankers. So sometimes you need a fuel tanker if you want to go further to get people farther along. And here we go. Aculon is a very strong heat-resistant blue metal smelted from Aculon ore. It is typically used in components that are used to extreme temperatures. Aculon ore is found at volcanic and rocky metallic worlds and as asteroids. So there are times you need different resources to research items, right? Like you can be like, we want to research this, but I need this specific item, and you may have to go find it somewhere on a planet, on a moon, you know, out in the asteroid areas. You need those to be able to accurately research that item or build an item. So let's see if we can find one of those. Right here. Cuprica is a shiny metal smelted from Cuprica ore. It is extremely strong and lightweight and has a shiny red-brown appearance. Cuprica is commonly used in beam and torpedo weapons. It is found at some rocky metallic planets and at asteroids. So right here, if you're going to do beam or torpedo weapons, you probably need this Cuprica resource. So I think that's cool that different resources give you different items. Ship construction. So if you're constructing your construction yard, your new construction yards, if you're constructing any ships, and then the build order of how you want to build ships. And you can actually do a mass order here and just click purchase, and it'll do it all. The other thing you can do is you can click to launch a tour of each one of these if you really want to. Maybe we'll do that as we come across unknown things. This is your research. So research station. So you can put, as you discover other planets and moons, sometimes if you build a research station there, it will give you buffs. It'll give you bonuses. And so you got to build that there. And so this will let you know where they're at and what they're providing for you. If they're new, this is your research bonus amounts. So this is what we have right now. And then as you get scientists, they'll show up here. As you build military ships, you can create fleets that you can send out specifically. So you can send them to different areas. You can have different makeups. Maybe you can actually develop certain ships. So maybe you have a very fast fleet to go to one part of the universe in the galaxy. But maybe you have a very strong, like, tank type fleet that you send in to kind of, you know, handle all the damage. You can build all of that. You can also do troops that will land on the planets, your admirals and generals. You got defensive bases, monitoring stations, enemy targets, and then dangerous locations. And then finally, you've got civilian stuff. So all of the civilian ships that will be built here. You've got the freighters that are carrying, that would be carrying all the stuff. You got passenger ships that would be for tourism, or if you're going to go start another colony. Resort bases to make people enjoy space, I guess. But those are all the different things. So let's go back to this. When you do your policy settings, you can literally, like, you can configure anything. So, like, I know a lot of people want to configure and build all of that into their race. They kind of let you develop everything around a race rather than building a specific race. So you can see colonization. I want them to suggest if we can build a colony. I want them to suggest it. I'm okay with not manual. I'm still learning this game, so I'm okay if things aren't always manual. But as I learn, I'll probably switch them over. So like colony facilities, the tax rates, I'm actually probably going to do colony tax rate as manual. Stock levels, funding levels, we'll let that just automate right now. Ship construction, I want them to suggest it, but I don't want them to build it, not yet. Repair abandoned ships and bases. Research, I am going to do that manually. I want them to, I want to decide what we're researching. Ship and base design, we'll leave it automated for now, but as we get into the game and we have more research, I'll probably switch that to manual because I want to decide what a ship looks like. And I may know what I'm trying to, like I'm trying to build light and fast, or I'm trying to build distance, like I got to get a far distance, or I may need tanky ships. I want to build those things, so I'll probably turn them to manual later. You got recruitment, formation, fleet postures. We'll switch all that to manual. It's going to take us a little bit to get into the military, but then you got exploration, colonization. What do we want to do? Send survey team when hidden items present or colonizable or populated. Let's just do always right now. Investigate ruins. We'll do prompt. Investigate when it's prompted, yeah. Colonies and tax rates. We want to do that manually. Funding levels. We'll look more at the colonies when it comes time to do those things. Construction. Ship-based design. Automatic. I probably will switch that to manual at some time. Construction for ships, yeah, just suggest them. Prioritize state ships, which, so you would build private sector ships in your shipyard, but if you have to build one for your state government, it would throw it at the front of the line, and I want that to happen. New military ships are automated. I guess we'll leave it automated. Population to build large spaceport. We'll leave that for now. I'm not going to worry about that. Spaceport priorities. Priorities can stay normal. I'm going to build the military at some point. So, yeah. I'm not worried about that. Diplomacy. We're going to leave it all a suggest for now. Military, suggest, yes. Enlist base, always. Enlist military ships. Automatically refuel manual ships. I'm going to say, so whether manually controlled ships will automatically refuel as needed. Yes, because if I manually send them, I don't want them to not go because I didn't realize they needed to refuel. So we're going to put yes. Automatically retrofit, yes. Refuel fleets, yes. Repair fleets, yes. Retrofit fleets, yes. Ooh, no. We're not going to do retrofit because I may not want them to be retrofitted. I may want them as a specific thing. No. We don't want to automatically retrofit fleets. Yeah, repair and refuel, but don't retrofit them. Troops. Recruitment. Let's do manual for now. Fleets. Fleet formation, management, and postures we're going to leave. Manual. Research. Manual. Intelligence missions. We'll leave that as automatic for now. I probably have a little bit to learn on that. We'll leave all those defaulted. That looks good to me. But let's look at this map now. Let's see where we're at here. So this is CV4. We've got the moon right here. And if you go further out, this is our specific system. So you've got the supergiant star, and then you got you see V 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 10 planets, which is pretty good. And when you look at it, remember, what we can colonize is going to heavily be the marshy, the water, like that's what we would naturally want. So you've got frozen gas, frozen ice. We don't like those. Gas giant. So deep ocean planet, you see V6, there's a chance we could be there. Forest planet on 5, there's a chance we could be there. We are on 4. Volcanic, volcanic, volcanic. So we're probably not going to go there. But all those different planets will have different resources that will help us develop our specific race and empire. And then if you go further out, you can see all the different systems everywhere. They did a really good job with all of this. So, and you can see all the clouds that make exploration more difficult. But we will get into all of that next time, because I wanted to show off kind of what the game is all about here, and then we will start doing all the things in episode 2, and we will start launching out and exploring and researching and really developing our empire. So I look forward to it. Hopefully you're excited about this. I'm excited about this series. I'm excited about this game. I do enjoy it, and hopefully you do too. Feel free to engage if you got ideas, if you got thoughts. Maybe you've been playing this too. I'm new to this game, so if you've got experience, feel free to throw out some ideas, and I will listen to them. And but all that being said, see you next time.